There is a saying, if you want to hide anything from an African, put it in a book. I'm an African, and I'm very proud to be an African. But for us Africans to be able to compete successfully at the global stage, then we must embrace knowledge, because knowledge is power. So that when we embrace knowledge, we'll be able to own our own natural resources and then use them in a most responsible way. Imagine with me a fish in an aquarium. Though the aquarium is beautiful and good, but it is not the natural habitat for the fish. Therefore, the potential of the fish are limited. There are fish that don't know anything about the river, the sea, and the ocean, when they can experience freedom to swim without limitation and barriers set by others. I have experienced some limitation in my life, just like the fish in the aquarium. I could swim, but not beyond the walls of the aquarium. Only when I was 9, my parents enrolled me in school. And my age group was starting school at the age of 4 and 3. Little kid, it was a bit embarrassing. I grew up with little self-confidence. I never believed in myself. Oftentimes I remember I go before the mirror trying to change my appearance like this. With some major focus most times on my nose. I wanted to make it more pointed. I never believed in myself. I wanted to be like others. I was living in what I call the prison of the mind. Just like the fish in the aquarium. How many of us today are here, trapped in the prison of our mind, like the fish in the aquarium? Trapped by people's opinion and decision. Some of us are trapped by our own fear and doubt. The fish in the aquarium might not be able to change its life, but its fate now lies in the hand of its master. But can we? Follow me through this journey. Let's see if we can be free to follow our dream. I'm from Nigeria. Report shows that 2012 we are 170 million people, make us the most populous black country on earth, blessed with natural resources, tin, columbine, iron ore. We are the 6th oil-producing country in the world. I was born and brought up in the northern part of Nigeria, where there is highest level of illiteracy. But in the midst of these abundant resources, in terms of development, we are still backward. So you find a lot of graduates and youth on the streets looking for white-collar jobs that are scarcely not available. And what happens is that most of these people embrace crime. And the end result is always prison. Our prisons in Nigeria does not meet the standard of the human right for prison around the world that states that educational training should be given to inmates in prison as a way of what? Rehabilitating them. Our prison tend to focus more on punishment rather than correction. So you find that someone goes into prison and they come out worse. When you walk around our prisons in Nigeria, you see prisoners sitting down, wallowing in self-pity because they are always dehumanized and used as a means of cheap labor. Time, which is a precious resource, is always wasted, as there is no any recreational activities or educational engagement to help this prison get reformed. So therefore, when released, ex-convicts tend to come back to prison for what? The crime of reoffending. Because there is no plan for proper reintegration back to a society that always marginalized them, that always stigmatized them. I had an experience with a young man, Kuje by name, who was in prison. After he was released, we got talking. He was back to the prison for the second time. So when we got talking, I found that Kuje was from a poor family. His father could not pay his tuition, so he couldn't go to school. So he was suffering from low self-esteem. He didn't have any perspective about life. And I could easily identify with Kuje because I also have this constant barrier in my life. I never had confidence. I never knew the direction to take in life. So this was a constant barrier for me. Just like the fish trapped in the aquarium. So when Kuje was released, 1 week after Kuje was released, he was already back to the prison. But my turning point was when I discovered the world of books. And a book by Zig Ziglar, titled You Can Reach the Top, a motivational book, had a great influence in my life. One of the lessons I learned from this book is that you can have enough of what you want if you let enough other people have what they want. Books help me to overcome my inferiority complex. For me, books are boosters of destiny. For me, when we open books, we grow wings to fly. With this, I became independent in my thought. I started thinking about what I want to do with my life, not what my parents want me to do. A painful story comes home of a young man who all of his life wanted to be a musician. But his father insists that he must be a medical doctor. Because he feels he has no option, he obeys his father. Went to school, got a good grade, ended up a medical doctor. After 3 years of practice, the society deemed it fit to celebrate him. On that day like this, everybody gathered and we were all rejoicing. When it was time for this young man to make his speech, when they called upon him, he started crying. Why was this young man crying? For the first time in his life, he was able to express himself. All of my life, I never wanted to be a doctor. I have been living the dream of my father. Even though you people are happy celebrating me today, I'm frustrated. Do you have a dream? Are you living that dream? Or are you living someone else's dream? In 2003, having been affected positively by books, I conceived an idea. If me from a low family, you can't trace my family in Nigeria. So from a low-income family, lost my father in 2001, struggled through school. Sometimes I have to come out to go to the construction site to help myself get back to school. But now I have been liberated by books. So I thought of an idea. I conceived an idea. I want to build a community library, private, for my community, so that they can have access to knowledge. I never accomplished that dream. 10 years down the line, as a graduate of business administration, I happened because every graduate in my country have to serve the country for 1 year under the scheme of National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. So when I had this opportunity, my dream was actualized. Where did I do this library now? I went into the prison, got the permission of the government to build the first library in prison, Otukpo State, Benue. I was able to accomplish this through the help of friends and colleagues. Some people gave me money, some people gave me advice, some people gave me books, but most importantly, some people gave me discouragement. And I tell you, I love discouragement because it always keeps me on my feet. So when people don't believe in you, don't bother. Martin Luther King did not say, we have a dream. He said, I have a dream. It is your dream. Stick to it. Don't quit. It will come to pass. So after accomplishing this, it empowered me to help the prisoner the more. The question we need to ask ourselves is, how much are we prisoners of our minds? And then, and only then, are we free to dream. My vision is dream again. And I want to take the prison library to the next level. So I'm working on a curriculum that will include interesting vocational skills for prisoners. A curriculum that will include teamwork. Prisoners will be given opportunity for the first time in my country to work together in a group towards achieving a common goal. I want to coach prisoners on public speaking so that they can use their story as a source of inspiration. But more than that, looking back at their experiences and their mistakes and challenges of life, they will be able to embrace. I want to organize for the first time in my country prison debates. And you know what? A debate whereby prisoners will talk about issues that are relevant to them and to the society at large. And don't you think it would be nice for us from the outside to listen to such a debate air on our radio and possibly show on TV so that we can understand how these people are feeling? I want to spice up the prison in Nigeria with the Kantian philosophy. Leaders are not people who occupy position and power. Leaders are people from the margin of the society. People who have fire in their belly. People who have guts to challenge convention. People who have fire to transform concepts. And you know what? People who are strengthened by adversity have a lot to contribute to our society. And I saw something beautifully when I came in here. You say VIT, university, a place for learning, and what? And a chance for change. Wouldn't that be nice to hear about this in our prison? A place to learn and a chance what? To grow. So I want to see a prison in Nigeria that is focused on correction and reformation as a way of rehabilitating inmates. I want to walk through Nigerian prison and hear prisoners talking with their shoulders high about their dreams and the positive things they want to contribute to the society when released. This can only happen when we don't concentrate on punishment, but rather on empowerment. Imagine transforming prison from an institute of punishment to an academy of change. Ladies and gentlemen, think back about the fish in the aquarium. This fish will not be able to change its situation because of the barriers surrounding it. But we, being humans, we can. Thank you very much.